Throughout history, the absolute most dangerous warriors are the ones who never even have to draw a sword to conquer. We know this because of a 2,500-year-old manual written by the ancient Chinese strategist Sun Tzu. In The Art of War, he presents a strict, counterintuitive rule. Fighting and conquering in all your battles is absolutely not the mark of supreme excellence. Relying on brute physical force is the tool of an amateur. A true master understands that a war is fought in the opponent's mind long before their body reaches the battlefield. The ultimate objective of any conflict is to break the enemy's resistance before a single blow is struck. Sun Tzu outlines a strict four-tier hierarchy of military strategy. To understand the top, we have to start by looking at the absolute worst-case scenario. The lowest tier is the siege. Surrounding a fortified city drains an army's food, costs thousands of lives, and usually results in the destruction of the very prize you are trying to capture. The third tier, attacking an enemy army in the open field, is faster than a siege, but the attrition rate remains catastrophic. Both of these lower tiers lead to what Sun Tzu called exhaustion. A prolonged military campaign empties the state treasury and leaves the surviving soldiers vulnerable to secondary enemies waiting in the wings. Direct physical combat always inflicts severe damage on the victor. By the time you achieve a hard-fought win, the cost has rendered the victory practically worthless. Moving up the hierarchy, the second tier targets logistics, disrupting the enemy's alliances. By isolating an opponent, you prevent their forces from combining and severely weaken their strategic leverage. But the absolute highest form of strategy involves no combat at all. This pyramid diagram illustrates the shift from brute force at the base up to psychological disruption at the apex. By operating exclusively at this top level, you eliminate the need to rely on the lower three tiers, completely saving your resources, capital, and people. When you systematically shatter an opponent's plan, you trap them. They realize their avenues for success are closed off, which destroys their willingness to engage in the first place. Because the resistance is neutralized mentally, the victor captures the enemy's state whole and intact, securing every resource without having to rebuild what they just conquered. We can see this exact hierarchy applied in 1368 CE. The Ming Dynasty General Shua marched a massive army toward the fortified capital of Beijing. Conventional military logic dictated what should happen next, a horrific, drawn-out, and bloody siege against the Mongol rulers trapped inside. Instead, Shua captured the city without firing a single arrow. When his troops walked through the gates, they found the streets calm and local merchants casually selling groceries. Shua had outmaneuvered his opponents strategically. He positioned his forces and cut off escape routes effectively, that the Mongol rulers realized their plans were already thwarted. They fled into the night rather than face an impossible battle. Shua destroyed his enemy's willingness to fight. Because he achieved victory at the highest strategic tier, he secured his prize, the capital city and its entire economy, completely intact. This logic of preservation applies to more than just ancient kingdoms. In a modern negotiation, the same math determines the value of your win. An ancient conqueror gains nothing from a burned-down city. In the exact same way, a modern executive gains nothing from a burned bridge or a destroyed professional relationship. This flowchart contrasts the two approaches to a dispute. Choosing direct confrontation in the boardroom forces you down a high-friction path that drains your capital and causes unnecessary damage, while the frictionless path relies on strategic persuasion and leverage. Taking the prize intact requires outthinking rather than outfighting the competition. You preserve the value of the deal, the morale of your team, and your long-term reputation. Master strategists systematically dismantle their opponent's options. They align incentives and close off alternative routes so completely that any form of confrontation becomes obsolete. You don't enter the room to prove you're right. You align the board so that your goal is the only logical conclusion left.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to NovaMind for more inspiring thoughts and ideas.